Fellas, ladies, you looking for lotions? You looking for beard oils? But unfortunately, everything you get from mainstream got chemicals in it and it's probably killing you? No problem, we got you. Go check out my people from Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. That's Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. www.top2bottom, BOTTU, the U is for unique, M.com. Tell them I sent you.
Hey, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How you doing? How you doing? Welcome again to Ron's Opinion Don't Matter on the OG Network. Um, it's a beautiful day, wonderful day. God is good. God is good. God is good. I'm thankful and grateful to be alive. For all that don't know, normally on Fridays I usually try to talk about money. But because it's a subject I love to talk about. I ain't gonna say seem, but I like talking about, love talking about. Um, so I just decided, you know what, I'm going to talk about investing um, because that's what I enjoy doing on a regular basis. Today, looking at the stock market. When I say stock market, I'm talking about my own personal portfolios, not so much the stock market as a whole. For those that don't know, I am a person that mainly invests in companies that pay out dividends, some form of a dividend, and then I just keep rolling with it. I'm not rich. Anything that I say is not a suggestion that you should do it. I'm not a financial advisor. I just basically talk about what I'm going to do, what I might do, possibly do, what I'm looking at as it relates to investing all the way around the board. So, for those that don't understand what I mean by that, is that um, I invest in most of these stocks that pay out a dividend, and I try to encourage people when I can, and when we talk about this of why I do what I do, and for the most part, um, it has worked out pretty well. Am I rich? Nope. Um, I usually just talk about how I do what I do um, as it relates to investing and what I'm looking at. And of course, right now, and I'm looking back at UPS, even though I've been buying it. I'm still looking at UPS stock. If y'all don't know, um, I'll put that in the chat. Um, that's one of the ones that I'm actually looking at because I'm in the red with it. I've had it for quite a while. I've been sitting on quite a bit. I'm in the red. So whenever I'm in the red with something, that's an encouragement for me to start buying into that particular stock. Now, for those that buy crypto, of course, I do have some money invested in crypto. Um, yes, crypto is very volatile. Um, if you can't stomach it, it's not for you. That's real talk. um, Crypto can make you a lot of money, but you could be sitting on your money and the value of your money can go down dramatically. Man, you could be just sitting there looking at money that you had and it looks like it's gone and whatever. But and in just my opinion, that crypto, in my opinion, is just you got to be able to stomach the long term. And I'm not saying that it's going to hit the roof. I don't know, but I do understand that you do have to look at it long term sometimes, and you got to be patient. But with dividend stocks, this is why I go to dividend ways for the most part. Yes, I do have money invested in crypto. But this is why I go because let's take UPS for instance. This is why I invest the way I invest. And for some people that might agree, might not agree, but this is in a nutshell. And I'll talk about this for a reason. The way it is. UPS. I'm gonna talk about UPS, and they are, of course, people know what UPS does. They ship product, right? All around the world, for the most part. Shoot, UPS is one of the biggest. What's up, Mike? What's up, Mike? What's up, man? God bless you. Welcome in. Welcome in. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Just for real, how you doing? Welcome in. Welcome in. Do me a favor, please hit that like button. I appreciate it very, very much. Now, here's the thing. UPS, we all know. My man Mike said, "Don't trip, buy the dip." And that's real talk. My man Mike said, don't trip, buy the dip. Scared money don't make money. No, I'm just joking. I'm adding to it, but he just said buy the dip. But anyway, UPS ships product all around the world, right? And I'm quite sure that if somebody purchased, orders, something like that, they have had to pay for UPS shipping. Just part of life, right? So the reason why I purchased UPS stock, number one, is I wanted to invest in something that's solid, and UPS is pretty big. The other thing is this: UPS pays out a dividend. And just to give y'all an idea, UPS prices stock is sitting at $94 and some change right now, right? UPS pays has been paying $1. Well, the last time UPS paid dividend, we're gonna go with that. We're gonna say it that way. It was $1.64 every 3 months, right? Because I know they pay quarterly. So per share, UPS paid $1.64, right? So let's just say, for the sake of argument, you own one share of UPS at $94 a share right now. Every 3 months, you're going to get $1.64. Now, here's the thing. If you pay and you buy stuff and you order stuff, you have to pay for shipping. It's cost of it. But imagine, this is me imagining, not saying that I'm right. I mean, I know I'm right, but this is my imagination in it. If I own enough stock in UPS, at some point, I'm going to get some of that shipping cost back. And depending on how long and how much I own my stock in UPS, my shipping costs, even though I'm paying for it, it comes back and goes into my investments. Or if I put the money back into UPS when I get the dividend, it goes back into my investment. But even if I don't put it back in UPS, when I take the dividend and reinvest it, that is money that I spent out, the currency, for shipping. But eventually, because I own shares in that company, it comes back in the form of dividend, and now it goes into my investment. That's how I look at it. Same thing with, let's say, Pico Energy. Pico Energy is the energy source in the state, one of the energy sources in the state of Pennsylvania. Your electric bill, your gas bill, stuff like that comes through Pico Energy. What's up, Bag of Rocks? How you doing? God bless you. Welcome in. Welcome in. Please hit the like button. I say Pico Energy. They do, the energy source, right? So let's say you got electric bill, you got gas bill, and you pay Pico Energy. Now, the average person is going to always have to pay the electric bill, the gas bill, right? Or whatever that is. But imagine if you owned enough stock shares in Pico Energy that, you paid your electric bill, but it also is coming back to your investment portfolio in the form of a dividend. Why I say that? Because Pico pays 10 cents per share every single month. Somebody say, what is 10 cents? 10 cents is 10 cents. All right, so let's just say you own a lot of shares of Pico. At some point, enough shares that, let's say you get enough shares in Pico that you get $100 a month from Pico. That's $100 that is now going into your investment portfolio. Even though you're still paying the electric bill. That same company that you paid the electric bill to, every month, because you own so much of shares in it, is giving you $100 every month back in the form of dividend. Same thing with your food costs. That's why I invest in food. I buy stock in companies that make food and pay out some form of dividend. And again, everybody knows that investment comes with risk. Yes, there is a risk that I may lose the value of the money that I have in there because the stock price goes down. I may gain value because the stock price goes up. I'm willing to take the risk because at the end of the day, if I take the risk, I'm still going to have to pay the electric bill, gas bill if I want electric and gas. If I don't take the risk, I'm still going to have to pay the electric bill or gas bill if I don't want it, if I want the resources. So why not take the risk to get a return on the very same resources that I'm paying for? So that's how I look at it. And I look at everything that I invest in that way. Vehicles. I look at my vehicles the same way. At some point, we all got to own a vehicle. Now, I know Honda pays out dividends. Ford pays out dividends. General Motors pays out dividends. And Stellantis pays out dividends, right? These are companies that make vehicles that we're going to, most of us own, and pays out a form of dividend. So imagine if you owned enough money in these car companies that when you go purchase your car, the money comes back in a form of a dividend because you was smart enough and disciplined enough to keep investing and to hold your position. And now that car is actually almost to some extent becoming free to you. Same thing with the mortgage companies. Same thing with the housing business. Same thing with mining. Same thing with the phone companies. And everything else that is going on in this world is the reason why I decided that this was the direction that I was going to go. That's why I did it. Because I was like, you know what? These are expenses that I am going to have to pay every time I turn around. If I want a cell phone, I'm going to have to pay for the service. So why not invest in cell phone service? So I own Verizon. I own stock in T-Mobile. I own stock in AT&T. Why? Because I'm going to have to pay that bill. I own stock in Pico. Why? Because I knew I was going to have to pay that bill. I own stock in Ford, General Motors. Why? Because at some point I'm going to have to buy a car. If I want the luxury of getting around and going places. Same thing with car insurance, homeowners insurance, mortgage companies, banks, all of this stuff that is going on in the economy. And this is the reason why they spook an everyday person away from it while they continue to make money. The stock market is an open market. It's publicly traded. Public means that public, if they're smart, they have access to invest into these companies that are publicly traded. Places like Home Depot. Places like Lowe's. Publicly traded. That means the public can buy into these companies. Now, yes, there's a risk. But how many of us have been inside these stores? Walmart. You go into Walmart. Not only are you spending your money at Walmart, you're also going to be buying all this stuff that's in Walmart. The food industry is all in Walmart and make all this stuff. And a lot of these places are publicly traded. Kellogg's cereal, Post. A lot of these places, Campbell's Soup, who's been in the news lately, are publicly traded. Why not put your hand in the kitty? This is how I look at it. This is the reason why I go the direction that I go, and this is the reason why I was going the direction that I was going. Why not put your hand in the kitty? Why not get some of that? Why not put some of that investment, put some of your money and invest in that, and take a small risk of possibly making more money, or for the income source? Because that's my whole purpose, is the income source. I don't care so much about the value of my money as much as I care about the income that it brings. Because the value is going to change on a day-to-day basis. But the income, it's a different story. That's why I invest the way I invest. That's why I keep going the way that I keep going. And that's why, what's up, unknown opinionoid? How you doing? God bless you. God bless you. Welcome in. Please hit the like button for a brother. Appreciate it very, very, very much. Yeah, it's snowing in Philly. Yep. I think pretty much the whole state of Pennsylvania is getting a hit. But it's a beautiful thing. Ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of snow. But yeah. But like even right now, crypto has took a hard hit. And it's climbing a little bit right now, but it is what it is. But crypto took a hard hit. But let's just say this morning, if you own crypto at where it was bottoming out at when it was down, you might be actually coming up with a little bit of bread right now if you put enough money in it. But that's the whole point of investing. The other thing is that a lot of what's happening with the stock market today is contingent on what's going to happen on that 10th. And I think it's the 10th. I'm not 100. I know that I think it's the 10th of December of this month when the Feds are going to start talking about interest rates. And that has an effect on the stock market. Sometimes it's going to go down. It might creep down, because they're not sure where the Feds are going to go. Rather, they're going to lower interest rates, pause interest rates, or increase interest rates. In my opinion, and it's just my opinion, I think we're going to get another quarter out of this. They're going to drop the interest rates another quarter. That's just me. And so far, what I wanted was one thing. What I thought they were going to do was another. And so far, I've been right about the last 3 times I've been right about the amount of interest that they were going to drop. And I think they're going to go with another quarter. I will be surprised if they pause. And I will be even more surprised if they went maybe 2 quarters. My opinion, it should be 2 quarters. Like if it was me, I would just jump to the 2 quarter, drop the interest rate by 2 quarters, which is a half. But, I'm not the Feds. I don't have no control over that. I'm not, nothing like that. But that's just my opinion. Based on what I'm seeing in the market and the economy, I think they should drop it too. They should support the economy. There is no real major red flags that need to be concerned about because this administration is doing a hell of a job of keeping inflation from increasing or getting out of control. With all of the money that's coming into this country through tariffs, and I know they didn't like the idea, but I love the idea. And with all of the things that are happening on a large scale, I think that we have, in my opinion, solid leadership and things are not going out of control. So in my opinion, the Feds can do the right thing, drop it a half, should do the right thing, drop it a half, and support what's happening right now. Like get out of your chest pumping and all of this trying to, stand against this guy and the guy. And it's not about y'all. Do the right thing for the economy. Give the economy that boost that it needs. Let the president control inflation and do the job that he's doing because he's doing a hell of a job keeping it from going out of control. You're going to have some inflation sometimes. There's nothing you can do about that. But as long as it ain't out of control and it's not going crazy. Are you an FBA? Question. I'm not too sure what you mean by FBA. It's a little weird. I'm not sure about that. You got to be a little more specific. Unknown opinion on it. And for me, it's like, so when you watch what's happening, and you watch the decisions that's being made across the board overall, there's no real flags. Gas prices did go up a little while ago, but they did start tapering back down. But again, no real red flags. Yes, unemployment, a little high, but I already knew that was coming. That was a given. See, what people don't realize is this. This is where the unemployment situation, in my opinion, the reason why it's that is because a lot of these large companies, foundational Black American, I don't subscribe to so much of that. I mean, like, yeah, I love Black people. It's like I love everybody else, and I want the best for everybody in our country. I do. If you're American and we about America, I want the best for everybody that's in America. Now, as far as the skin color aspect of it, I mean, yeah, we were raised and we were told a lot of that stuff. I'm off that. I'm not subscribing to that on that scale no more. I mean, it's about God first. For me, it's about God first. And salvation don't come through skin color. So, they can subscribe to that aspect of it. I'm done with that. A lot of that stuff. And I'm not saying I have a problem with my skin color, because I don't. I love my skin color. I love the way it is, and I ain't got no complaints about it. But some of the stuff that the black stuff that they try to incorporate into our culture, I'm over that. I mean, I'm not subscribing to that because it gets you nowhere. There's no benefits to it. It hasn't got you nowhere. And so a lot of stuff that they try to say is Black culture, I'm good. They can have it. They can go ahead to that. It's about God first. I love my country. I love my people, rather they Black, Rather they have another skin color, white, Chinese, or whatever. I get it. Now, am I ignorant to the fact that there are some things that because of your skin color you might have to deal with? No, I'm not. But that's not on the top of my list. That's not one of those things on the top of my list of that. Now, what I would love to see is for those that are melanated in this country get full benefit and full access to what's happening in America. And here's my point to that. A lot of times, being our culture, when things are beneficial or things that are coming out, by the time those things hit those type of neighborhoods, the well is dry. Here's my case in point to that. And this is, if you're any person in America, I want y'all to look into this. And I really encourage you to look into this. Right now in the Trump administration, for all newborn children in America, I think if they born between 2026 or 2025 and 2028, somewhere in that ballpark, they're trying to set up an account to give every birth child $1,000, right? $1,000 for every child born in America. This is what they're trying to do right now. Now, I'm going to tell you like this. What probably ends up happening is this. By the time it gets to melanated people neighborhood, the information is not going to be there. It's going to be gone. Why? Because we will be distracted by rhetoric, stuff that don't matter. We will be so told to hate the person so much that we will forget that there's $1,000 for your child being born that you can have set up into an account that you can actually fund. You're getting a $1,000 jump from the federal government, from the Trump administration. This is what they're trying to do. But you know what they're going to do? They're going to keep painting the picture like the bad guy. And what's going to end up happening is because we're so caught up in this side of it that we're so caught up in the anger and mad and all the rhetoric, the melanated people are going to miss out on the opportunity to, when they have kids. Now, this is encouraging you to have children. That children going to have $1,000 to start out with. Now, it's only a short time span. So what's going to end up happening is that money is going to be, everybody else is going to get the opportunity to get it. But by the time we get access to it, because we're so caught up in our attitude and mad and hate and hateful stuff, we ain't going to get a chance to get a part of that. And you will get a better chance, better understanding of what's going on in America. And here's my point to that. Ron wants to be a white. This is the level of ignorance that always seem to come to my channel because they hate of the fact that I stand for my country. They hate the fact that I love my country. They hate the fact that I am benefit. This is why those type of white people hate me, because I am a melanated person benefiting from the very country because I was smart enough and not stupid enough to fall for the rhetoric. I'm not, because I was wise enough to see the real picture and overcome it. But see, it's people like the guy Donald on my channel that want me to stay in the slave man's mentality. That's why he said what he said. Because somewhere along the line, he think being white is better. Because I'm not saying that. Because it's not. See, in his head, he think being white is better. Look at what he said. Why would I want to be white? What would be the benefit of being white? I want to be me. That's it. There's no benefit to me being white. That's why, just like there's no lack of benefit for me being black. Because my skin color does not determine my outcome in life. Go find it, Donald. You can go through all my videos. Go find it. You ain't going to find no racist stuff because I'm not racist. I joke sometimes, but joking is not racist. But I can guarantee you this. You the one who's a racist because you came in here and didn't even say good morning. Didn't even say good afternoon. You said Ron wants to be white. You don't think that's racist? Go find it. And that's the ignorant stuff that they love to say. See, my thing is this, and this is what I always tell people is this. To say white people, to say I want to be white, which I don't want to be. I want to be me. At the end of the day, that's who I want to be, me. So why would I want to be white? So for him to say I want to be white is for him to think that being white is being better than being black. I didn't say that. He said it. Because he came in here and said, I want to be white. I didn't say that. See, so when someone comes to me and say, oh, you want to act like you white, or you want to act like you black, or you want to act like this. No, I want to act like who I am. Me. That's it. You don't like it, that's fine. What's going on, Delver Dogs? How you doing? God bless you, brother. Welcome in, welcome in. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. But again, this is the ignorance. Now, I'm talking about why I invest, the way I invest, and why I'm doing what I'm doing. And the reason why people like him, who's a white racist, is because they don't want melanated people. They don't want melanated people to take advantage of the opportunity right here in America. You know what they want? They want to fight for illegal immigrants. They want them to benefit. They want to fight for other countries. They want them to benefit. They don't want melanated people in this country to benefit from this country. They want everybody else to. That's why they need to go. What somebody call me, Donald? This is why listen. Everybody don't call me that. Racist people do. Ignorant racist people just like yourself is the ones that call me that. No one else calls me that. You do. Because y'all think that what y'all saying, that y'all think every black person is supposed to behave a certain way. Y'all think every black person is supposed to act a certain way. Y'all think that every black person is to think a certain way. That's racist. So a minute a black person start to act different than what y'all normally see what a black person has, the first thing y'all say, he's trying to be white. That is an indication that you're trying to say that white people are better than black people. I never said that. What's up, Notorious? How you doing? God bless you. God bless you. Oh, is that well? You know how they do, dogs. You know how they do. They come in here and hate because, listen, I'm gonna tell y'all like this: 86% of the people that watch my channel are African American. I mean, not African American, or men, not men. 86% of the people that watch my channel are men. I know who he is, Donald. Again, I can care less. David Chappelle is a comedian. Oh, okay, unknown opinion. You know what? I see what you're saying. Yeah, like I said, I wasn't too sure with that. I know who David Chappelle, but again, David Chappelle is a comedian. The character that he plays is made up, make believe. Okay, that comedian stuff and that stereotypical stuff does not make it fact. Does not mean that that's just a joke. He's appealing to people's stereotypes. That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing. And guess what? He understood that if you capitalize on people's stereotypical behavior, you can make a lot of money. And what did David Chappelle do? Made a lot of money because he used capitalism to capitalize off of people's stereotypical behavior and knew that they would be entertained in massive groves on that. And guess what? He made a lot of money. Good job, David Chappelle. Meanwhile, David Chappelle wasn't really raised in the very environment that he made fun of. You go look up David Chappelle's life. It's all good, bro. Ron has directly said the most black things I've ever heard. Meanwhile, you on here saying it the whole time. But I'm not going to entertain you, Donald. I know you need your daily dose of Ron's opinion don't matter. I know no, Donald needs his daily dose of Ron's opinion don't matter because I am therapy for him. For racist people like him, I am therapy for him. I help him. So he needs his daily dose. He's been away for a while, so he had to come back and get his daily dose of Ron's opinion don't matter. Because he was running low. You know what I mean, Notorious? He was running low on his daily dose of Ron's opinion don't matter. And I'm one of the rare few channels that don't put them in timeout. But at this point, a lot of times now I do. I don't even I put them on timeout. But make sure y'all like and subscribe to the channel. And that's real talk. But we're gonna get back to what I really talk about. I spent enough time trying to give him, but he needs his therapy, so I had to give him his therapy. He really needs his therapy. See, these are the children. Keep Ron away from children. Listen, if your children around me, they are 100% well protected. But since you don't know how to come in and say stuff, Chris, just for real, what do I think about crypto? All right, what I think about crypto is this. Number one, I have invested money in crypto, just for real. I do. And I think crypto, although have an extreme risk, although I know crypto has an extreme risk, at the end of the day, I still think that is I think that is still extremely good investment. I do. That's just my opinion, though. I think it's a very good investment. Give me 1 second, y'all. I want to put something else up there. Give me a second so I can get this stuff out there and then comment. All right, cool. Yeah, I think crypto is a very good investment. I just think you got to understand crypto and the risk factor. Cryptocurrency has an extreme risk factor, and you got to understand it. For me personally, this is no advice to anybody else. This is just me saying what I would do and no one else. This is just me saying what I would do. This is just me saying what I would do. And that's just me. I've been buying crypto. This is what I do. I'm patient. I don't buy a lot. Buy a little bit. I'm just telling y'all what I do. I slow walk it. And every time I see it drops real hard, I put a little bit more. I see it drop more, I put a little bit more. If I see crypto drop 40, 50%, overall, then I really start to buy more into it. So once I see it drop about 40 to 50%, maybe even 60%, then I start to really try to filter more money into it. And the reason why I do that is because that's just my strategy. Not telling nobody this is what they should do or advice for somebody that should do. This is just what I do. I just pump more money into it. And the more I pump money into it, the key for me is accumulation. At the lowest price possible, accumulating. And then I'll just, at some point, I'm just going to hit the pause button and say, okay, from this point on, whatever happens, happens. And then I go back to investing in my, what's going on out the pit? How you doing, brother? God bless you. Welcome in, welcome in. Appreciate y'all for hitting that like button. Appreciate y'all for those hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it very, very much. So eventually I'll filter a little bit of money in, and then I'll just keep rocking it out. So a little bit of change I may have, I'll buy crypto. And my thing is this, is that if you look at Bitcoin a few days ago, it was down to like $80,000. And let me see something once. While we talking about this, we're going to look. Let me go into here. And all of a sudden, Bitcoin started on the move, right? I don't even know where Bitcoin is at right now, but I'm getting ready to go check and see exactly where Bitcoin's at. Where is Bitcoin price? Because I know it was up there like, if anybody on the live and y'all already know where Bitcoin is at, let me know real quick. All right, there you go. Bitcoin's back up to $90,000. So just for here's my point. Let's just say somebody, for the sake of whatever, had $80,000 and they put it in one Bitcoin, even though you don't have to buy the whole Bitcoin. I'm just saying in general. Within a week's time, that person made 10 grand. If they bought Bitcoin at around that 80,000 mark, and Bitcoin is at $90,000 right now, little over 90,000. If they bought Bitcoin at that moment, they made 10 grand in 1 week. So, like I said, if you can stomach it, I get it. That's the key, is being able to, because listen, people don't have a lot of money like that. And this is where it's the tough part about investing comes into play. People don't have a lot of money like that. I don't have a lot of money like that. I'm working and I'm trying every single day. I put a little bit of money to my investment when I started out. And this is the biggest thing for me is when I started out, I look back and I say, man, I came a long way, but I still got a long way to go. And there is no I arrived moment, but I got a long way to go. And I kept going and I just kept going and I just kept going little by little. Some days it was $1, some days it was $5. Sometimes I didn't have nothing for days, and I'll look and say, oh man, you know what? I got $10 today. I got $10 I can invest. Some days I had $20. Some days I had $50. Some days I had $5. Some days I didn't have nothing. But every time I looked and seen that I had room to put a little bit more in investing, and I was investing in solid stuff, I just kept going that route. And that's how I did. Now I've made some money off of crypto. Yes, I have. Now I've reinvested the money into other stuff. Money is still making me money as in the form of a dividend. But yes, crypto does come with a level of risk. But again, if you can stomach it, and crypto get that bull run, and you there when it happened, I've seen people become millionaires off of crypto. So I can't argue with that. I look back at one point, I had one crypto, Dogecoin. This is not an advocacy for people to go out and buy Dogecoin, but all I'm saying is every time I think back to that, that was one moment where I missed out on it. I sold way too soon and way too fast. And I had Dogecoin and I had a lot of it, roughly probably about $300 to $400 in there, but it was a lot at the time because Dogecoin was worthless. It was a worthless crypto. And I went and I purchased. I just kept putting change there, like a little bit of money I ain't had to invest. I said, oh, I can buy some Dogecoin with that. And if I would have held on to that Dogecoin and never had touched it when Elon Musk started talking about it and Dogecoin went all the way up to 70 cents, I would have had that $400 that I had there would have been worth $180,000 if I would have sold it when it peaked off. That was crypto. Now that Dogecoin right now is still where it used to be worthless. It's still sitting at about 15, 16 cents. I'm not saying you should go out there and buy Dogecoin. But what I'm saying is that crypto, although volatile, is one of those things that if you can stomach it, some people, I've seen people become multimillionaires off of it. So it is what it is. Can't argue with the facts. I seen Bitcoin when it was only $3,000 and some change. I think it was $3,600, $3,600. That was probably about 7, 8 years ago. Bitcoin has went up to $124,000 at one, $20,000. $124,000. So again, you just don't know. So I would never tell people what they should and should not do with their money. That's their choice. Do I got money invested in crypto? Yeah. Am I going to buy more when it go down? Yeah. What's up, Joyce? How you doing? God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Real talk. Listen, you don't have, like Bitcoin, you don't have to buy it by the share. You can buy it fraction, meaning that, let's say you bought Bitcoin where it was at 80,000. If you put $20 in, let's say Bitcoin, you put $20 in there in Bitcoin. You're just going to buy it. You're just going to get, you're going to make some money, but you're going to make whatever it is you put in there on top of that. But see, here's the thing with crypto is the tricky part about crypto is that a lot of people don't realize that there's fees involved with crypto. So when you go to sell it, they're going to make money off of the buying and selling crypto, and you'll probably make some money, but you got to be able to stomach it at a real low, be buying at a real low cost and sell at a real high cost, because depending on what platform you use, they're going to bang you with some money and you're going to be mad when you see what they take. And that's where a lot of time people get caught up, because listen, they know people are impatient. Listen, they know that people are impatient, and they know that people don't have the ability to stomach a lot of this. So when it comes to investing, I look at it like this. I look at it from a gangster, street gangster, to someone that's just coming into the game. The gangster already know the game. They know how to play it. They know all the movements. They mastered it. It's second nature to them. When you coming in as a rookie, you don't know who's on the other side of all this. So you got to be able to be, the only way to outsmart that side of it is patience and consistency, and not being anxious and moving too fast. That's how I've been actually overcoming a lot of the stuff that I was doing. I don't move too fast. I'm very patient. See, now Chits for Real just put in the chat that Bitcoin right now is at 91,000. Now Bitcoin, like I said, a week ago, Bitcoin was at about $80,000 it dropped down to. Now, here's the thing. Let's say somebody had Bitcoin at 120,000, right? And they seen it falling and they sold it off. And let's say they sold it off and they sold it off at Bitcoin off at 120,000, right? Before it started falling. They just held on to that money and said, I'm going to wait till it drop. And Bitcoin went back to 80,000. Now they sold it off at 120. Bought it back at 80,000. They back up almost 10 grand right now. So it all depends on your your strategy, how much you pay attention to it, and how much you watching it, and how patient you are, and how diligent you are. Don't be too anxious. This is just me. I don't be too anxious. I don't go put a bunch of money too fast. And every time I've done that, which is once or twice, it went wrong. And now I had to fight my way out of the hole, so to speak. But when I was patient and I was consistent and I didn't move too fast and I did exactly what I normally do, was put a little bit of money. Every time it falls a whole lot, put a little bit more money. Every time it falls a little bit more, put more a little bit money. But when I seen crypto with like a 60%, when I seen crypto drop to like 60% from its high, 70% in some cases, that's when I started going extra. I was just like, all right, I'm just going to pump, and try to buy up as much as I can with the little bit of money I have, and then wait it out, and I just sit on it. Right. And that's my whole point. Like, I mean, listen, I'm giving you a point of, do I have money invested in crypto? Yes, I do. When Cicero asked the question, yes, I do. The reason why I do it, because I see the money that you can make in it. Now, there's a whole lot of other things that's happening behind the scene what crypto is doing, as it relates to crypto, that I'm gonna be honest with you, and this is just my opinion. I think there's a lot of people are gonna miss out on probably an opportunity, and they're gonna wish they got in early. I'm in, and I'm gonna stay in. My team is in. And all I'm saying is my team is in, and we're in, and we're in as heavy as we could possibly be in for the long haul. Think about this. If I'm gonna just use Dogecoin as an example. Dogecoin was worthless at one point. It was a joke. Now it's up to like 15. Where's Dogecoin at right now? Let me just see where Dogecoin is at. Dogecoin is at, and for those that don't believe what I'm saying, I want y'all, if y'all can go look up Dogecoin and look at where the price was. Dogecoin right now is about almost a little less than 15 cents. So it's at 14 cents and 14 cents, 14 and a half cents, somewhere around in there. But if you go look at Dogecoin history, where the price was originally at, and ask yourself, this is my whole point to this. I'm gonna go back at Dogecoin when it was first. It wasn't even a penny, and this is just giving me 5 years. Dogecoin was a fraction of a penny back then. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Dogecoin back then was a fraction of a penny. That's where it's at right now. So if you do the math, Dogecoin was a fraction of a penny. Not a penny, a fraction of a penny. And that was about 5 to 6 years ago, maybe 7. It was a fraction of a penny. Meaning it didn't even have a penny of value. Now it is 15 cents. So think about that. Let's just say for the fraction of a penny, you had Dogecoin, and let's say you had $1,000 in Dogecoin when it was a fraction of a penny. And it was like maybe 10% of a penny, some weird number like that. Now, the first thing you have to say is, once it make a penny, if you bought it then and it made it to a penny, you already make a lot of money. Now you at 15 cents. So this is why I say, yeah, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not telling people what to do and not do with their money. But am I investing in crypto? Yeah. That's why I'm there, because I seen what it can do. Like, what was it? What was the person that said it? Goldman Jenkins said something about it being a scam. But yeah. Now here's the thing. I used to think the same way, right? But people that were not millionaires are now millionaires. They off of cryptocurrency. Now cryptocurrency now has value. Here's where the part of the scam went away from me. Is this. If I went to, let's say, out the pit, right? Now we're going to use him as an example. I went to out the pit and I had cash in one hand and cryptocurrency in the other. out and I said, I need you to repair my car, right? And you look at it and you say, you know what? I'd rather have the digital currency to repair your car than the cash to repair your car. He got to determine which one I want in order to do the work for me. So, again, you say that, but if people are adopting it and they're already starting to use it, it's no longer a scam. What it is people want it and they're willing to use it. And that's real talk. But I got to get ready to get up out of here, y'all. That's just my opinion on cryptocurrency. I think it's it has a level of risk, but I also think that you could possibly make some money off of it. But that's people's choice. But at the end of the day, every single one of y'all have a blessed, wonderful day. I appreciate y'all hanging in there with me. I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure y'all check out the 30-second video after this so y'all can learn about the wonderful hair care and skincare product, the top to bottom makes. And with that said, make sure y'all keep God first. I don't care about anything else I say. Ron's opinion don't matter about it. A lot of stuff. But when it comes to having a relationship with Jesus Christ, that is the one thing my opinion matters the most. And with that said, I'm going to get up out of here. Every single one of y'all have a blessed, wonderful day. I'm out of here. Peace.
Fellas, ladies, you're looking for lotions, you're looking for beard oils, but unfortunately everything you get from mainstream got chemicals in it and it's probably killing you? No problem, we got you. Go check out my people from Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. That's Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. www.top2bottom, BOTTU, the U is for unique, M.com. Tell them I sent you.